Welcome back. Today we're going to start making some sugar cakes to supplemental feed the bees during the winter time. We put the candy boards on earlier in the year. There's a video for that. And then partway through the winter we always check to make sure that they haven't run out of sugar, or to add more sugar to them if they need them, just to make sure to get them until we can start feeding them liquid feed again. So this is the easiest way I found to refill those candy boards. You can put a little bit at a time, put in as much as they need, and you can make a bunch of these and store them in a bucket and stuff until you need them. So we're going to go ahead today, we're going to just use our regular sugar. We're going to mix probably about 5 pounds of sugar, so we need about a half a cup of water. We'll add a little bit of honeybee healthy and a little bit of white vinegar too, to keep it from getting moldy and stuff like that. It helps preserve the sugar. And then what I found works best is using silicone cupcake molds. They're small, they're easy to pop them out of, and they're easy to store in a bucket. And if we have any extra, we'll use a silicone soap mold. That way it's easy to pop out if we have any extra sugar left over. So let's go ahead and get started. First we'll go ahead and weigh out our sugar, that way we don't get too much. Make sure to get the mixture right. What you want to look for is you want it to be the consistency of wet sand. You don't want anything too wet, because if it's too wet it takes too long to dry. And if it's not wet enough, it won't hold together and be a solid cake like you need it to. That's about 5 pounds of sugar right there. And the reason for using sugar is not only it helps feed the bees in the winter time, but it also absorbs moisture. Sugar absorbs moisture, so if you get moisture build up in your hive, the sugar will absorb it and keep it from dripping down on your bees, getting them wet, killing them in the winter. Plus the moisture also makes it easier for the bees to dissolve and eat. So we've got 5 pounds of sugar here. We're going to go ahead and, to our half a cup of water, I usually add about a capful of honeybee healthy. So go ahead and shake that up. And it's got stimulants in it that attracts the bees to it, makes them want to eat it. Put about a capful there. And then I also do about a half a capful of white vinegar. Just a little bit to put in there to kind of preserve it in case it sits too long in the hive without them eating it. You don't want it going bad. Usually I have a spoon or something with me, but I forgot that today, so we'll just stir it up with our finger. Okay, move our scale aside here. Just go ahead and pour the water in the bowl. Then it's going to be time to get dirty. You just stick your hands in there and just mix all that water and sugar up. It will seem at first like it's not enough, but it really is. You don't want anything really too wet. You'll have a lot of dry sugar in there. Make sure you get that sugar all worked in. Takes about a minute or two to get it mixed up right. So that's probably about right. You can see that's about the consistency of some wet sand. You can kind of make it into a ball. It kind of holds its form a little bit. Anything wetter than that, it's just going to take a lot longer for it to dry. And you kind of want to make these as fast as you can. I've already put some extra ones in the hive and gone through half of our bucket that we already had made. So I'm making some more in preparation for in a couple weeks once this cold snaps over, to fill them back up again, because they were eating some of it already. Then you just take and you just pack it into your silicone cupcake molds here. Fill them about as full as you want. I usually try to get them as full as I can. Pack them in good and tight, because you want them to be nice and dense. They'll dry harder. They won't break apart on you when you go to pick them up or pop them out. Just like that. I'm going to fill all these up. Okay, so we filled all of our muffin cups and we filled the soap mold here with sugar too. We're going to let this sit for about 2 to 3 days and it'll dry. And then what we're going to do is pop these out of the muffin holes and turn them upside down, because if you leave them sit for 2 or 3 days, what you'll find is the bottoms are still soft and they'll break apart on you. So I always flip them out, turn them upside down, let them sit for another 2 to 3 days. Depending upon how warm or cold the house is, they'll dry a little bit faster or longer, depending upon how warm or cold it is. But they're hard rocks at that point in time. None of this sugar will ever go to waste. Whatever we do, we make them in the wintertime, and if we have leftover, we just in the spring take and put it in a pot of water, make sugar syrup with it. Same with the candy boards. If we have any candy left over on the candy boards, we knock it out onto a big sheet of plastic and take that and dissolve it in water and make sugar syrup to feed them into sugar, so all the scraps and everything never go to waste. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us for some more videos, and in a couple of weeks here we'll go out and we'll check the candy boards to see how much sugar they've got left on them and add some more. Thanks.